everybody. Welcome to part 2 of my 3-part conversation with Trayvon Robinson. Hopefully, you caught part 1. If not, the link is below. In part 1, we discussed Trayvon's life and amateur career, with him being raised in South Central Los Angeles. In part 2, we'll cover his Major League debut, his time with the Mariners, and his battle to get back to the show. We also started to talk about his divorce and the strain that created in his personal and professional life. Here we go. You had a lot of success in the minor leagues. I'm going to read off these accolades here. 2009, California League All-Star. 2010, Southern League All-Star. 2011, guess what? Surprise, AAA All-Star. I played in the Herman Derby. The Rising Stars game in the Arizona Fall League. So fast forward up to 2011, you were getting pretty hot. You were having a very good AAA season with the Dodgers. The trade deadline happens, and you get traded to the Mariners.
Yeah, man, I couldn't even tell you, Jeff, how much I was just crying on the inside. I was stunned, dude. I was stunned because I knew that, only thing I was asking is like, bro, is the grass green on the other side? Is it green on the other side? And I had a lot of teammates that were like, yes, it can be. It can be. It can be. But I don't know, man. I just really think it was moving too fast, Jeff. Like everything was moving way too fast, and I couldn't know how to handle it. I don't know how to control my emotions. I even turned down some things that probably could have kept me in the big leagues a little bit longer. I don't know, man. Like it was just too fast. I wasn't able to think. I was just so excited that I got my chance to be in the big leagues. When I got traded after I got traded over, because it was like trade big leagues. I was like, well, what's going on here?
The Seattle Mariners wanted you. It wasn't
Yeah,
necessarily the Dodgers were done with you,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
The Mariners
yeah.
just wanted you, and they put you in the big league 6-7 days later.
Yeah, what's the name was the thing is that the Mariners, they all knew me because we shared a complex with them, before we got our own complex with the Dodgers back in like 2008. So in 2006, 7, they see my progression. So they see that I was getting better or whatnot as a baseball player and learning how to switch hit and all the other stuff. So they seen it firsthand. I just really thought I was going to be a Padre because I did good against them in the minor leagues. But I
Okay.
eventually signed with the Padres, but they didn't have room for me at the time, so they ended up releasing me. But that's a little bit further down the road. But yeah, they seen me. They knew who exactly who I was. All the coordinators knew exactly who I was. And yeah, it just happened fast, man. It happened too fast. I kind of wish I would have had.
How
I
old were
wish
you?
I
22,
was I was
23?
23. I was 23 at the time, and Alonzo Powell was a hitting coach in Tacoma at the time. I just wish I had a little bit more time with him. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Did I want to go into big leagues? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to absolute. But if I would have had a month with if I had a month with Alonzo Powell and the way he played the game and the way he taught the game, taught hitting, it would have opened up a different thing because I was just going solely off athleticism and learning how to switch hit. And I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to get this ball and try to hit it to left field. I'm just trying to hit it to left field, and I just got success. It was simple to me. It just kept going, kept going, kept going. A little bit later on when I talked to Alonzo Powell, he was trying to get me to hit more down through the ball, but it didn't translate. It didn't translate. So now I go to the big leagues, and Chris Chambers, awesome guy. I just didn't comprehend. You know what I'm saying? And it's not Chambo's fault. Chambo, great guy. And now again, I'm going to ask for forgiveness. Forgive me, Chambo. Great guy. Always wanted to, help, but I just didn't understand it. Like, and it's not his fault. And it was a suicide mission for me up there. That's what it felt like because I don't think I was. They had a lot of guys there already with the Mariners. I was just an outside guy looking in, coming in. They made a lot of trades that year. It was sink or swim. Like it was like, all right, well, I mean, I can't change now. I can't change now to get to the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? I got to the big leagues or what I was doing, so I'm gonna just try to do the best I can to stay here. And it was just it didn't plan out. But as bad as it sound, I still hit over 200. You know what I'm saying? So
Your debut or no? went 1 for 3 with a single, and you robbed Torrey Hunter of a home run in your major league debut.
Wow, bro. Hey, I can't even
What a
tell you.
day!
I can't even tell you how wild that was, Jeff. Jeff, first of all, if y'all look at, if any of y'all look at the game, any of your listeners out there look at the game, they don't think they realize how far I ran for that ball. Like I was in left. We shift Tory left center field. I pinched the gaps left center field. I ran all the way to the line, and then I was like, when I got there, I was like, what am I doing right now, man? This is a homer, and I just jumped up. I just jumped. And
Right.
I'm twirling all in the thing, and I got my face in this guy's armpit. I'm just like, bro, what is going on? Then I was like, oh, I caught the ball. And it was Friday. My parents, my
The
mom.
big leagues.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of sick. I ain't never seen, I ain't never heard anything so cool in my life. The whole stadium went,
Oh man.
ooh, and I was like, there's no way that I just did that. I just made the whole stadium grasp for air just now. So that was cool. That was really, really cool. But people don't realize how far I ran. I ran pretty darn far, you know what I'm saying, to get that baseball. But then, side note, his next at bat, Tory, if you listen to this dude, bro, he hit this ball so hard over my head. No, he hit this ball so it was a low liner, and I think I probably could have caught it if I would have just jumped up. But he hit the ball so hard to where I couldn't even register if I wanted to jump. I just said no, 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 no. It's a double. I didn't want to make myself look stupid or anything like that. So I was like, no, 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 he got it. So yeah, man, that was fun, man. And I can take to my first at bat. My first at bat, Weaver. People also don't know this. Jason Vargas and Weaver, they went. Jason went to Fullerton, and Weaver went to Long Beach State. 6 years prior, I literally seen those two Friday night at Long Beach State going against each other, and now I'm in left field playing against them.
That's so weird, man.
Oh,
Baseball is such a
on a
small world.
Friday. It was on a Friday too. It was on a Friday. It was a Friday night. It was a Friday. Oh, August 5th. Yeah, whatever. On a Friday.
And now
And
there's
they,
the three of you guys on a major league field full of folks
yep.
playing
And I
Major
was
League Baseball.
surrounded by scouts. I was surrounded by. I think it was 2004 or whatever. I was surrounded by scouts when they were about to go first round. But yeah, man, that was my major league debut. It was like, again, like I said, man, it was just so fast, man. Everything was moving so fast, and I just
Is
could
that
not.
something that would have kept you in the league a little longer, especially the Mariners, if you just had another month, like you said, in Tacoma with
Yeah,
Alonso Powell?
yeah. If I would have had another month, me and Alonzo Powell to get to because I went from like doing what I was doing to being successful, but uh, John Valentin, he helped me a lot, coming up into the system and understanding like, hey, you need to stay inside the ball. But now, since I got that, I think there's another niche. There's nothing like, I really truly believe everybody's put in your life for a role. And like I said, like everybody played a significant role. Gene Klein's, rest in peace. Franklin Stubbs, John Valentin.
I love hearing this stuff, man. Everybody
Yeah,
I talk to
yeah,
has the
they
devotion of
all played.
gratitude. I love it.
They all play. George Hendricks, Terry Collins, Jesus Salazar. All these coaches I had. If I missed you, Gary Ingram too. Like all these guys that I had, they had a significant part in my development as being a switch hitter. I never hit left-handed, so it just helped me out with that. And I really truly believe that it was just lined up because I remember when George Hendrick came up to me and asked me like, hey, would you want to hit left-handed? I was like, I want to hit left-handed. What do you think is a video game, bro? Like, what? I don't want to hit left-handed, but where you going with this? Like, you know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? He was like, I think you can play a long time if you learn how to hit left-handed. I'm just like, do people do this?
You're
But
starting from scratch with it, right?
right from scratch, I never hit left-handed in a competitive game ever, and I started in Vero Beach. And what I loved about Terry Collins and George Hendrick, they were patient with me. The Dodgers were patient with me, so I will always have a heart for the Dodgers and how they, especially Dejan. Dejan was patient with me with the development of learn how to switch hit. It was they were surprised. I'm not even gonna lie, they were surprised how fast I caught on, but I don't think they realized how much of a mental battlefield it was for me
It must have
to
been.
not, because I wanted to quit constantly, 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 but they were like, no, no, no,
The
go
hardest
eat
thing
your
with
food.
baseball is handling the failure and having that
Yeah,
confidence. And you had confidence hitting right-handed, and all of a sudden they said, "Hey,
maybe
do
a better
this thing you
right-handed hitter.
suck at. Do this
Maybe a
thing you
better
suck
right-handed
at."
hitter. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Along the way, everybody just helped me, man. Everybody just helped me along the way, and I just like, you know what? I'm just going to ride with it. I think my very first hit in a competitive game, it was instructionally, it wasn't recorded or anything, off Jumbo Diaz. Jumbo Diaz, if y'all don't know Jumbo Diaz, Big Jumbo was he played in the big leagues with a number
For
of
a
teams.
while, the Reds, I think.
Yeah, the Reds for a while, so he was a key piece of that back end of that bullpen. 100 miles per hour, Jeff. I just threw the bat out there and got a single up the middle. Everybody was like, "There's no way he just did that. There's no way," because everybody was probably just what are they doing with Trayvon? What are they doing? And then I succeeded how in a short amount of time and actually putting up competitive at bats, and yeah, I was striking out a lot, but any other person couldn't really do that. And now I'm thinking about it now. I had to give myself so much grace that I
It's
didn't
hard to
realize
do as
what
an
I did.
8-year-old.
Yeah, I didn't realize what I did. And now I'm a hitting coach. Now I'm just like, I think I was placed in a position to where like you're gonna do some things, you're probably not gonna get awarded, but you're gonna have an impact.
I'm glad you're in that position now.
Yeah, me too.
So you're talking to big leagues, man. Between making that debut, tell me about your time in the big leagues.
Yeah, well, after that first week or whatever, I started feeling I don't know, man. I don't know what I felt. I just felt like I was walking on eggshells, man.
Just uncomfortable.
Yeah. I can honestly say that. And there's a lot of guys there. There's a lot of great guys, man. But I just don't know, man. I just had this whole feeling to where like I wasn't. I just wasn't comfortable, man.
It's a
Would
big,
it have been if it would have been different with the Dodgers? Probably would have been different with the Dodgers because you know why? They knew me. They knew exactly who I was. They know where I came from. They know everything. I just think that I probably wasn't a favorite, you know, on that staff. I mean, I just probably wasn't the guy. And again, this is can be assumptions from what I was feeling at that time. I eventually stopped playing at the age of 24, like up there, so I wasn't getting every day at bat. So I was just another. I just felt like I became another guy very quickly. I think it would have been a service. I mean, a service for them and me to just get rid of me after a month. I just felt like it was so uncomfortable, and I also didn't do myself a service too because I was so. I mean, I did okay my first month in the big leagues. Then I sat, but then I also didn't go to winter ball, man. I didn't go to winter
oh,
ball because I,
there's opportunities to showcase yourself for the other 29 teams. You did that, as a minor league player with the Dodgers, and even
yeah,
you didn't get a chance to do that in Seattle because you're just sitting on the bench. Where ball would have been a good opportunity for that.
yeah, winter ball would have been a great opportunity, but I didn't go to winter ball because I had a issue because I knew that I was better than the guys. I knew that I was good enough to be up there. Just say that because I had great teammates. I had, especially all the teammates were our age. They're good guys, man, and I just knew that I belonged there because I mean I wouldn't say I knew that I belonged there. I did whatever I did in the minor leagues to get at least 1,000 at bats in the big leagues. So that's all it is. Like I just knew that I was able to get 1,000 at bats, but by me saying no, I didn't want to go to winter ball just yet. They took it as like, oh, this dude don't want to go to winter ball. It's like, no, there's something wrong with my swing. There's something going on to where, like, I had more success, and it wasn't like I didn't want to go play baseball. I had more success being in an instructional league. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I develop. Because there's no pressure. I'm able to take a chance. But if I go down there and I shit the bed, you're going to use that against me. You're going to use it against me. So damn if you do, damn if you don't. If I go down there and I don't do good, you're going to use it against me. Because they did it in the past. They did it to the other players in the past. So I was just kind of like, well, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So I stayed in contact. I stayed stateside. I worked with Mike Brumley, rest in peace, Mike Brumley. I work with Mike Brumley. He gave me some things to work, and then ultimately, I knew they were gonna sit me down in AAA. I batted 530 with like 30 at bats or those 20 something at bats in spring training, and they're just like, the only thing I got was, you need to go play every day. Really? And you go
You're
play
right.
every
I
day?
could play every day in Seattle.
I'm playing here. I'm doing everything, and I was in a big trade with you. Like, just tell me what I need to work on. So I got the damn if you do, damn if you don't treatment from the
If you'd been with the Dodgers, they would have known who you are. And when you said, "I
yeah.
one dude running ball," they're like, "Oh, yeah, sure."
They would have guided me, but but they wouldn't have held it against me with these subliminal messages and whatnot. But they ended so he ended up like them optioning me down. I was pissed off. I was like, what the fuck? And then throwing my stuff in my locker. I left. I took usually you ain't supposed to take your 3 days. I took my 3 days. I took my 3 days. I did not come back to the stadium until the third day, and I literally I sat in my locker, and I was like, bro, what just happened? What just happened? So, I snapped out of it after the third day. I just hung out with my ex. Well, I was married, but not no more. But hung out with her. Just kind of just got away, and just I ended up resetting, and
Good, you got
came
to do
back.
that.
Yeah, yeah, came back with a new attitude, and I just kind of and I remember Chris Gwynn came up to me, talked to me a little bit, and Michael Saunders, man, I still remember Michael Saunders came up and he was looking for me for the past couple of days. He was like, "Hey, man, I've been looking for you." I was like, "You got my number, bro? Like, what's up, man?" Like, and he was like, "Bro, I'm just kind of, I'm surprised. Like, what did they tell you?" I was like, "Bro, they just said I need to go play every day." And I was like, "It's no big deal." And he was like, "Yeah, they just named me the starting outfit." And I was happy for him because Saunders you need to go out there and play. He's a big dude, big boy, and he had a lot of potential, and he had a good career too. But I ended up going to AAA, and they put another hitting coach in front of me that knew me. How about that? Jeff Pentland. Jeff Pentland. Jeff Pentland. I don't know where Jeff's at, man. Jeff's funny, man. He always talk like he got like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" I call truck driver Jeff, man. But Jeff had all those guys, man. He's been in the game for a long time. He had Barry. He worked with Barry. He worked with Sammy Sosa, Mark Grace, all these guys. So, me being with him and actually him understanding, he put it he started to plant a little bit of a seed in my head, like, hey, you need to go down to the ball. And I remember this one at bat, and it was in AAA, a little bit further along before I got called up, probably about like a month before I got called. I hit this ball, man. I hit this ball, and before they had exit velo, I hit this ball so damn hard, bro. And it was
It
in the
must have been
opposite.
150 miles an hour.
Well, I'll say like 110. But I hit this ball so hard, and he was like, just drop on it, just like kind of chopping wood. And I was just like, okay. Guy threw a sinker away, 2 strikes, boom, like 110. I was like, what the hell? I was trying to do that. A month later, I'm getting to the big leagues because you can see from 2011 to 2012, my swing did shorten up significantly a lot. So I was thinking like, whew. Right. So I'm starting to get the gist of like what they're trying to have me do. I know there's still work that need to be done, but I'll keep doing it. So I'm like, okay. Let's go ahead and keep working. Bam, I get freaking traded. Don't get me wrong, like, yeah, did they expect me to hit 340? No, I was still not getting every day at bat, so I ended up hitting 220. But I cut down some strikeouts and I increased some of my walks. So and I was playing good, and I was playing better defense too. I just wasn't playing every day. So they wrote me off at like 24 years old. Which is kind of effed up. They wrote me off like, and they send me off. They send me off to Baltimore, but not knowing that they could have. One team that could have that was asking for me, San Diego
San
Padres.
Diego.
San Diego Padres are asking for me. So, and that's another team that knew exactly who I was. And they just shipped me off over there. So I don't know what it was.
Baltimore, and Baltimore didn't know much about you. Back in the same boat you were in Seattle.
It was a addition by subtraction. They were trying to get rid of somebody. And they were like, okay, well, it is what it is. And I was the first trade in the offseason.
From there, man, you really kind of bounced around.
I did.
Did you? I mean, 2015. I'm looking at it here. You went to spring training with the Padres,
Mm-hmm.
signed a contract with the Long Island Ducks,
Yep. I
and
was there
then
for
spending
6
some
days.
time with the Tigers and Diamondbacks.
Yep.
That's a
Yep.
eventful year, bud.
Yeah. It's definitely it was very eventful. I think Dejan Watson hit me back. He got me over there with the Diamondbacks after I got picked up going to Long Island. And that sixth day, they were like, "Hey, where you at?" And I was like, "I'm in Long Island right now." He was like, "Hey, I need for you to be on a flight tomorrow to go to Reno." I was like, "Bet, all right, let's go."
Yeah.
So I ended up going over there, but I was over there with Phil Nevin, all this stuff, and the year before prior, we got into a really, really big fight, man. Got into a big fight with the Padres and the Dodgers when I was there. I had Phil Nevin. I remember after we got into a fight or whatnot, I had to get some guys off, and he actually pulled me to his office. Being on the other team, it was like, "Hey, I appreciate you doing that for a certain player because we could have got really into trouble." I was like, "Hey, don't even worry about it, man. Like, I apologize for our actions, you know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of an older guy on the team, but nobody wanted to really step up like that because it was such a mess, like, you know what I'm saying? So I talked to him and he remembered from that situation. So he got me back over there and I ended up going over there and I was, playing, not playing, playing, not playing, but I did good for Phil Nevin. And I came off the bench and I remember I hit a game tying home run in Sacramento. Jeff, I wouldn't believe this. This is crazy. I know. Nevin was probably pissed off that he had to release me during the middle of the game. He released me pretty much in the middle. Well, I got to release him. Release me. I got a pinch hit, pretty much my last at bat. Uh, Game time home run, dude. We ended up winning that game. And then they called me in and they were like, "This is stupid, bro, but I got to release you." I was like, I figured I got released during the game because they made a move. They made a move that like they optioned up reliever downs, and they didn't want to
Somebody
put me
came out
back.
to the L or something.
Yeah,
There's a numbers
yeah.
game.
They didn't want to put me. They didn't want to put me back on the Phantom because I was on the Phantom again. So I was like, "Hey, don't worry about it, man." Like I went out on a good note. He was like, "Trey, the
It's a
way you
different
help."
kind of walk off home run.
Absolutely. Nav ended up making a couple calls to the Tigers, and I ended up picking up with the Tigers the next week. Um, if Nav ever hears this, man, I thank you. I appreciate you, man, for doing that move. But yeah, I stayed there. Prior to the year of that, I did go to Winter Ball that off season. I just kind of gave up my pride, and was just like, you know what? I told my ex-wife, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to Winter Ball. I had a bad year. I'm going to go fix this." Went down there. The swing that I had in 2014 when I left the states. Oh, I left that shit in fucking Venezuela. That was gone. My whole different mindset changed. I ran into John Nunnally again. I ran into John Nunnally again. I got 1-on-1 with him, and that's my dog. That's like my big brother, man, my father figure, man. Like this dude is like good dude. And John Nunnally played a long time in the big leagues. He played for a long time too. But yeah, man, I left that swing in Venezuela in 2014, and this is who I am now. Like whatever I've learned from him, this is what I'm teaching all these guys now. So I really truly believe that the pieces just fall in. I just kind of wish the main piece of John Nunnally fell in a little bit sooner, man.
But in this role that you're in now, even the role you've been in for the last few years, you're going to be that for somebody.
Yeah,
I'll have somebody on the podcast in 20 years after a long career and be like, man, I had Trayvon Robinson. I was in Lancaster and I was thinking about giving it up. And then everything I learned from there and took back to the big leagues, that's the Trayvon Robinson right there.
yeah, man. I will love that, man. Because I mean, at the end of the day, man, I can't take a lot of us can't take things home, man. It's good to have nice things and all that stuff, man. But I tell you what, memories do last for a lifetime, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people you meet and the people you interact with, that's a lifetime too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. And 2016, I mean, I went to Winter Ball again. Spent another time with nuns. I went there about 4 years, 4 years in Venezuela, which I could have did that in 2011, but it's cool though. It worked out. Everything worked out the way it's supposed to work out. So I ended up, going to Atlantic League. I went to Somerset, New Jersey. Somerset's now the Double A with the Yankees
Yeah,
now.
Yankees, right?
But yeah, I was there for the first half of the year, and I ended up getting traded to Lancaster. I was going through a lot of stuff in the off season. I mean, off the field too, man. I was debating if I should still go continue. I was married, and I was just like, man, I don't know what's going
So
on,
you
man.
guys that play professional baseball are still humans,
Yeah,
and things happen off the field. This might surprise people to know, but you still are human beings off the field, and you go through
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. And I mean, my wife was working. I didn't want her to work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if she worked, I wanted to be home. Like, for her to work and not, for me not to be there and not make it in really much money. You know what I'm saying? I was just smart enough at the time to save a lot of the money that I had when I made the big leagues and won a ball, all that stuff. But all that's gone now. So she won that. But got traded over to the Lancaster Stormers, Barnstormers at the time. So that was with my best friend, man. One of my best friends, Josh Bell. He's done playing. He's actually out of baseball. He's you know, he has 3 kids and whatnot. Lovely dude, man.
I remember
Just
him too. I'd love to talk to him.
yeah, good dude, man. Soft spoken guy, man. We got drafted together. Not the Josh Bell that's like right there. This is actually the other Josh Bell. You
Right.
know, the crazy thing is they're both switch hitters, but nah, this is Josh Bell, man. Good dude, man. He got me over here quickly, and you know, I don't think my name was being perceived the way it was prior to that when I was in Somerset. You know what I'm saying? Again, you know, I hope this is an episode of forgiveness. Forgive me for everybody, you know, with Somerset who think I was a bad dude. It definitely wasn't. I was going through a lot of stuff, and I didn't want to bring anything with any of you guys. Thing is, like, I still talk to those guys, and they knew it. They knew it. They were like, "Dude, you're going through a lot of stuff." But you know, by me being in Lancaster, it was a fresh start. It was better for me. I was with somebody that I knew dearly. You know, my brother, Josh Bell. And I was there ever since, dude. 16, 17, 18. You know, we had some good years. Then I ended up going to the Pirates. I got picked up by the Pirates in 19. Got picked up by there because that's when I went through the separation. And then I was going through that separation and a renovation. Or separation and a renovation. I was doing a house, real estate, investment. So I ended up flying down there to, Bradenton where you're at.
Okay.
I walked up to, you know, Eckstein at the time, and I was like, bro, I want to play. I was like, where have you been?
All right.
Lancaster, like Lancaster, PA. So what do you mean? Like, where I've been? I've been playing the whole time, and they see my stats. They're like, oh, well, you can still play. I was like, yeah, I can still play.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So, you know, he wanted me to do some stuff in the cage, this and that, this and that. And I was like, yeah, I can do it. Like, it's no problem. It's not going to change my idea of like what I'm trying to hit. But if you want me to start here, I can do that. Put my hands down, put my hands up, do whatever. So yeah, I'll do all that stuff. And you know, I think they wanted, because I was an older guy, they probably wanted me to see more power. It's like, well, give me every day at bats if you're gonna see me more power, have me more, do more power. So I went home. I thought I put a good impression. I think I did, because they ended up talking about me like in one of the meetings, and I emailed Larry Broadway. I was like, hey. I know you guys are starting soon, man. I was just wondering, man, if I can. I'll pay my own way. I ain't worried. I ain't worried about anything, dude. Like, I'll pay my own way. I'll pay my own living. I just want to get an opportunity, dude. Like, I've been waiting. I've been seeing trying to get an opportunity for the past 3 years. Uh, I just want to. I just want to go. He was like, and then Larry was like, "Can you get on a flight tomorrow?" I was like, "I will buy the flight right now. I just need you to tell me where I need to be in the morning." Kenley, I was staying with Kenley Jansen at the time. Kenley's my brother, man. I love you to death. He ended up getting the flight. We ended up getting the flight and flew down to Bradenton. Flew down to Bradenton. Uh, I was in that locker room that next morning. Yeah, next morning competing. You know, spring training and independent ball don't start until April. I'm like a month early, so I'm just kind of like, damn, man, I don't know if I'm even going to be ready for this. So first couple games, I made some soft contact, but I knew I was late, and I told him I was like, man, I am late right now because the past 3 years. My spring training started in April. So I was like, hey, can I come out early? I know you guys got bullpens. Can I come out early and literally track? And they were just like, we've been trying to get these guys to do this for like 5, 10 years already. I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's common sense.
It is. It's
Now,
gonna
like,
get your
dude,
eyes ready to go. That's
yeah.
the hardest part.
So I used to roll up. I used to roll up with John Nunley. Used to roll up there, bam, and I'd be like the first guy, and I just go do my workout or whatever, and I tell the guy like, hey, I'm going to go stretch with the pitchers so I can do that little thing with the tracking. So I did that, and everybody was just looking like this guy is literally leading by example because the game has changed so much to where it's young, young. They don't know any better. So that's what John was trying to tell him, like, y'all need older guys. Y'all need older guys that lead by example, to show things, to do things, and and all the other stuff.
The things that experience teaches you that.
Exactly, I experience, not a computer. A computer can't teach you that.
Right.
The computer gonna say, "Hey, you need to get more bats." So you know what I did? I took upon is that I stood in those bullpens, lefty and righty, and I got about like 45 at bats. While those guys are still
Right.
in here, kind of doing wherever they're doing. I'm just kind of like, and they're just kind of like, "Wow, damn!" Like as progression, my bats got better. My I just started feeling a little bit better. You know, I was 31, 32 at the time, and no, 31 at the time, and they're just like, "Dang, man, this dude can really." So they start sending me over to the big league side. So I was just chilling, you know, and it was funny. A couple guys were over there looking. They're like, "Yeah, man, I remember you, man." Like, yeah, man, I was, it was the man. It was a long time ago, man. Just kind of bounced around a little bit. I played against them in 2015 too. A lot of those guys in 2015, so they do remember me. And yeah, I just kept going, and I was expecting, like, honestly, Jeff, I was expecting to get released. It's a numbers game, dude. I just want an
Numbers
opportunity to get
game. Yeah.
spring training, dude. That's all I want. I ain't really care. Like, you know, I had nothing to lose. I'm already losing my ex-wife, dude. I mean, my wife, and I'm probably losing the house that I, you know, wanted to call home. Dude, I lost a lot of stuff, and I just wanted an opportunity. That's all I want. If
So
you
you
want
got
to
that
release,
opportunity, man. They sent you in Indianapolis, AAA.
yeah, but the thing is, they were saying, they were also saying, they're like, oh man, I don't know if he's gonna want to go to Double A, dude. They don't realize this. I would have went to high A if you would have asked me to go. I would have went to high A, but it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to be a part of an organization. So I literally, Brian Esposito came and told me, he's like, hey, I don't know if they told you or anything, but we're gonna take you to Indianapolis. I couldn't even cry. I couldn't even cry. I was like, bro, this is better than going to the big leagues right now, because I was just down in the trenches. Like, I didn't know what was going on, and I just took advantage of it and I ran with it.